So today I'm going to be kind of demonstrating and showing you the install of the AMP Research power steps installed on a 1995 Dodge Ram 2500. It's a pretty simple install. You do have to get a mounting kit from TCY Industries, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. But here's where you actually locate, well, I decided to locate my controller from AMP. The nice thing about buying it from AMP was when I bought the first, actually when I bought my steps, the control unit they sent me was bad. So I had called them, told them about the troubleshooting I tried to go through, went through some other troubleshooting stuff with one of their techs, and then they said, alright, well, it's a bad unit, and they sent me a new one. I was a little pissed off because I paid like $1,100 for these steps, and the unit they sent out was bad, but you know, great customer service. They sent me a brand new one. They actually overnighted it, so the next day it was in, and it wasn't a really big deal because I dropped my truck off at that time. I had left my truck in North Dakota, went home for a couple weeks, and I left it at a transmission shop to fix my 5th gear nut. So it sat in the shop for a couple weeks, so it wasn't really a big deal. But when I got back, I called them up and they sent me a new one. So kind of shout out to AMP Research for really good customer service, and it's actually a really good product. I've had this now for going on about a year, actually 2 years. So kind of long-term review as well. Open the door, you can see it's a little bit dirty, but open the door, the step comes down. If you do have like a 98 to 2002 with the other door, the back door, that'd be really nice for the rear passengers, because this actually comes off a 2003 Dodge Series pickup, so the 3rd generation. And I mean, they work really well. They hold weight really well. They got some cool safety features, which I've actually never seen. In the 2 years I've had these steps, I've only had one failure to actually come down, and that was when I was driving. It was probably like 28 degrees, 27 degrees, and there was a lot of slush on the road, and what happened was it froze up underneath and caused binding. And what it looks like is the step will come up, and let's just use my knee as kind of like a block. So you hold it down, the sensor goes, okay, there's too much load on it, so we're not going to deploy the step anymore. And then to reset it, you would just shut the door. I'll go over this button in a second, and then release, and it comes back down. It also has the same function if you step your foot on it. See, and then it locks in the down position. So just to reset it, I'm going to push that button, or shut the door, if you'd say. So now it reset, but like I said, I only had one failure to deploy in 2 years. So let me show you how it actually mounts on the Dodge Ram 2nd gen. What I've noticed though is this is going to be like the 3rd video I actually know of. The first video you find about these steps, it's kind of like a guy just opening it and saying dirty a whole bunch of times, and then that's it. And then the other guy briefly goes over it and says it's custom install. I installed this in a North Dakota winter. It was probably 20 degrees outside, actually closer to 10, and it took me about a couple of hours to install. So it's really poor lighting. Jeez. Go ahead and get my flashlight for the camera. You see it any better? There you go. So it actually installs with these TCY Industry mounts that you could fab them up yourself, I'm sure of, but I didn't have a welder at the time. And the controlling unit goes up on top in the front. The only thing different I didn't do, which I don't think you can see it, is what TCY Industries wants is they want you to take out one of your plugs right here, one of these body plugs, and what you do is you take it out, and then you're going to drill 2 connecting 3/8 holes, and then take a Dremel or punch them flat. What I actually did was I used the same location that they wanted to, but then I drilled 3 holes and put punch rivets in with that are threaded rivets, so that I can actually tie into that, and it holds a lot better, and I don't have to molest the piss out of this and make oval holes and whatnot. So I mean, the only other hard part is obviously lining them up. And lining them up, they oh, my shit's falling into my pockets. But when you line them up, they actually got a nut down here, right here, that you can kind of center the board and move it around. I went to have mine a little bit flush, so when you shut the door, it goes up. Now you see my rocker panel. I painted this with Ben liner material and used a self-tapper to hold those 2 in because I need a new rocker, because I had a BF Goodrich TKO D-tread on me about 70 miles an hour and it crushed this panel, so I need to cut it out and weld in a new one. But yeah, I have it lined up pretty much flush with this line that used to be off the fender. So when you open the door at night, the lights will come on, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the issues I had. I'm gonna get actually a new kick panel from the junkyard. I've just been too lazy to go and get one. Pretty good with the junkyard owner in Grand Forks. He'll probably give it to me for next to nothing or free. So if you notice, when you buy a kit from TCY Industries, it'll come with actually, you can see them right here, these magnetic strips, and basically is what they do is it's a ground loop, it's a ground sensing unit, so once there's a ground, the step will deploy. If there's no ground, it'll retract. And these are actually the stock magnetic detection units that come on like aftermarket alarms and all sorts of bullshit. What I did was I went on Amazon and got a door jamb switch from like a 2000 Corolla or some crap. And if you drill a hole right here and actually take this panel out, there's a hole so you can access the bolts here, and it actually works really well and holds the wiring. So I found this was a lot more reliable because it just presses in and it goes up and down. The magnets, it's kind of finicky because what you do is you can see where I mounted mine originally, where they recommended it. You mount them there and then you gotta move them around and adjust them, and it doesn't work all too well. So that's my quick video on the AMP power steps. So